All right, live from the desk. What did GC say? Live from the kitchen back in the day. We live from the desk, so I think I like that. So, um, article today that caught my eye. So I was searching. So this caught my eye. Pistons team payroll puts them in rare territory in the NBA, the National Basketball Association. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Shout out to our favorite writers, Aaron Kellerstress. Strauss, I said that right. Said Detroit Pistons won 60 games last season, which was third most in the NBA, despite the fact they had one of the league's lowest payrolls. If you look at the team's payroll for 26-27, the Pistons are at or near the bottom, depending on which source you use and how you calculate options and cap holds. Even after signing Jalen Duren, the Pistons won't be too high over the salary floor for an NBA team, nowhere near the ceiling, which makes them a rarity. The Pistons were the only team in the bottom 10 in the payroll that made the playoffs outright last season. That's without the play-in. You know, we in the 2026 now, 2027. It's a new world. And most of the teams in this space are amongst the worst in the league. We're talking Nets, Bulls, Grizzlies, Jazz, Bucks, Wizards level of bad. So Detroit stands out as one of the cheapest teams that is actually winning games, but it won't stay that way forever. But we're going to stop right there. And you see what they're doing. And also they have a lot of contracts that they could flip and get somebody. So last year they was in the perfect striking position to land a top player. At the trade deadline, they didn't do it. This year they're going to be in the perfect position to be in the trade deadline to land to learn the right player. So, you know, if, you know, some of these guys value drop or they want to get out of Detroit, they're in a great position. You know, I know everybody spend the money. You know, we get money, we spend it, you know, even without purpose. You know, Jahmyr Gibbs just got his bread, bought a new Maybach. You know, you want to reward yourself, but sometimes it's best waiting, being patient, being a little bit more meticulous about your next move. And that's what the Pistons doing. There's no rush. If we believe in the players that we got here, and it's not like they believe in these players because they picked them other than Ron Hollins. Most of these players outside of Ron and Dennis, they didn't pick them. Kay, Duren, Asar, they all came from a different regime. So to me, that's an objective standpoint of view because they believe in players that's not their players. So they believe in what they're doing. They're going to go the Brad Holmes route, which is the longevity route in football, playing their players and developing their players. So I really don't have no issue with it. He said it, but let's keep it moving. The Pistons payroll is about to swell, but they are still in great shape. The Pistons payroll is set to become well below the first tax apron, which is set at $209 million next season. Even factoring in Duren's eventual contract, the Pistons will be under the first apron. If they can keep Asar Thompson extension reasonable as well, and that's why they want to sign him, the Pistons won't hit the first tax apron this season. Will still have plenty of room to make a splashy move at the trade deadline, and that's what it's about. They're trying to stretch this all out as long as possible. I don't think people really understand. They're trying to buy time. It's like, you know, possibly, you know, Peyton Manning or Tom Brady buying time in the pocket, or more likely Vic or Randall Cunningham buying time in the pocket. They're trying to buy more time to develop, because if you flip one of these guys and they develop somewhere else, you're going to feel stupid. So you just like, all right, we're going to just give him time. And sometimes you can move a guy out of a situation, and the situation was the reason why the guy didn't develop. You know, you get rid of Ryan, and Ryan gonna be a superstar in Dallas. Sometimes it was the situation. It might have been a coach that made it click for Ryan. You know, maybe Detroit wasn't the right place for Ryan. People just think, you know, maybe Shea Gilgeous-Alexander never would have turned to SGA if he didn't go to Oklahoma City. Maybe he never would have been that guy in LA. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he would never been that guy in LA. So we got to kind of get out of that you know, that habit of, you know, no, everything happened for a reason. You know what I mean? So everything happened for a reason. So, and they may need to, as things will get a lot more expensive after that, when they have Kay Cunningham max deal by two guys earning $30+ million per season. The good news is the Pistons are entirely flexible. They don't have any bad money on the books, nor a long-term contract for anyone other than Kay Cunningham. So even though there will be raises starting next season, the payroll will eventually decrease because the Pistons have mostly expiring contracts. But it's going to get more challenging for Teresian to continue to put a deep roster out there with 3 big salaries at the top, so that he can't let this trade deadline pass without making a move, as it may be one of his last chances. And that's exactly what I said. They don't necessarily traditionally get free agents, but on top of not that, you just may not have the flexibility financially to get free agents, especially without a sign and trade. So he let last trade deadline pass, and I just thought he about, okay, let's not rush it. Let's see what's real, what's going on, what's real, and we'll see what it is, right? And now this trade deadline, they set themselves up to strike for somebody. And right now, I believe they would have struck for somebody this offseason, but the prices was too damn high. So let the season go on. Let these teams see that they're not probably gonna be that good. And then some of these guys, stock chart starts to drop, and some of these teams start losing. They starting to lose money. They want to get rid of big contracts. It's kind of smart. In the offseason, everybody got hope. Everybody believe, oh, we can turn it around. We could be a super team. You're gonna start to see some of these players, stock drop. That's exactly what you're gonna start seeing. You're gonna see some of these players stock drop. And when you see some of these players stock drop, it's going to be a great thing, because then instead of 3-1s, 4-1s for this particular person, you know what I'm saying? I mean, now you're going to start seeing, oh, okay, maybe we take a first, or we just want to get off of this deal. And then maybe get somebody for cheap. Then you might get some people bought out, during that time as well. So I think it's pretty smart for Trajan Langdon to be patient. Now, you could be too patient. You definitely can be too patient. And that's a real thing. And, most people would have started to say, well, maybe he was a little bit too patient at the trade deadline last year. And no, I mean, I just think he wanted to see what he was working with. And like I said, it's not like he's giving his own people the opportunity, because they're his people. No, a lot of these guys ain't his people. So you got to think about that. A lot of these guys ain't his people. These were Trajan Langdon kids. So, I mean, I agree with the strategy, man. You don't always got to be in a rush, bro. Take your time, be methodical, be meticulous, and do it that way. So, I mean, I think it was a great article right here. They're in a great position to be successful, and they're in a great position to set the team up for success, moving past this year. So, hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. That subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live and drop video. I appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. One time for the one time Motor City Sports Talk. And check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist for more videos like this. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, everything. If you need to reach out, is in the link in the description. It says find me everywhere. Peace.